Amash Chaturvedi is an entrepreneur working in the space of using geospatial technology for effective decision making. He is co-founder at Transerve, a location intelligence and data company with deep roots in spatial data handling, processing and analysis.
So let me first talk briefly about the problem that we are trying to solve at hand. Now, we know that the sanitation scenario in our country typically has not been that great earlier. There has been a recent focus in the past few years, specifically on household level toilet construction in both urban and rural areas. And this was aimed at primarily reducing the figure of households which are practicing open defecation currently. Now, the scale of the problem was large, and in a mission mode, the government has primarily worked on uh, assisting the households in getting these toilets constructed at the household level. And wherever it was not possible at the household level, the community toilets have been set up in that mission mode. But one major thing that we need to understand here is that construction is one part of the solution to the problem. The second part of the solution primarily deals with the waste that is being generated at the toilet level and how is it handled subsequently. Now, if you look at our urban landscape currently, we have a very less coverage of connected sewer network. If we look at our cities at present, there are hardly any city which actually have 100% coverage of sewer network uh, in their areas, in the municipal areas. And then there are several peri-urban areas, new municipal corporations around the larger cities, etc., which have grown or sprawled in past decade or so. And sewerage network, a sewerage treatment plant, and a complete infrastructure to collect and dispose the waste from household to the plant has not seen much of traction. The primary reason being that creation of a connected sewer infrastructure is a very capital intensive activity. And for many of these cities, it is extremely difficult to arrange for these funds to create an infrastructure that handles the connected sewer network and the disposal thereon. And therefore, it becomes important to try and find solutions to the problems in a situation which is staring at us presently. And what is that situation? The situation is that the household waste generated through these toilets, the new toilets which were constructed in Swachh Bharat mission, as well as the existing toilets which always existed in the households earlier too, are getting collected in a septic tank typically at the household level. And though many of the citizens may not be aware fully, but desludging of these septic tanks is a regular requirement. And why do you need desludging? Primarily for a couple of purposes. One is you would want the septic tank to be emptied on regular basis to avoid groundwater pollution. And second, you also would want to uh, uh, a scenario where the septic tank is full and the leachate actually overflows. That is a big public health hazard. So in that particular scenario, most of the desludging activities in our cities is currently being carried out either by the municipal operators, the municipal trucks, or the private sector operators, which ply around the cities and on demand basis collect the waste generated or stored in the septic tanks and then dispose that waste. Now, what are the two problems that the entire system faces? Couple of problems that we these cities actually face is where the desludging activity happens when the septic tank has already overflown. So it is actually too late to desludge. So from the collection standpoint also, the activity may not be streamlined that much. And secondly, when the sludge is collected, it may not be disposed at the right location. Most of the instances, and you may see a lot of reports being published in mainstream print media, that most of the sludge that is collected by these uh, night soil tankers actually find that its way to the water bodies or surrounding agriculture areas. So this is basically not an efficient solution when you are talking about a complete collection to disposal to treatment problem to solve. So therefore, it becomes very important to keep a watchful eye on both the desludging activities as well as the disposal activity. And in addition to that, it is also very important that the cities not only work on monitoring these activities at the citywide level, but also from a process perspective, streamline both the collection and the disposal activities. Now, when we talk about the open defecation free program, which started by construction of toilets with private septic tanks, the majority of the program essentially is also in the next two steps which have been identified. The next step is septic tanks getting cleaned on demand and proper disposal happens at a treatment location. And what is a treatment location? I'll come to that in a bit. And then thereafter, achieving something which is probably a very mature solution in which scheduling of the septic tank cleaning and a complete IT system to monitor the trucks and the proper disposal happens. I'll come to these problems and the solutions in detail. But before I enter into that, I would like to also talk a bit about what these treatment locations are. Now, in a large city, say for example, a large municipal corporation may typically have a sewage treatment plant to serve the portion of the areas which are already connected by sewerage network. Apart from the sludge that is collected through the connected sewer network, these large sewage treatment plants can also handle several truckloads per day of the sludge that is collected from the septic tanks as well. So imagine a city when in the older areas, the existing areas of the city might already have a connected sewer system, while the newer areas, the peri-urban areas or the peripheries of the city may not have the connected sewer network. So they might be relying on septic tanks only. So the sewage treatment plant is actually catering to both these parts of the city. In addition to that, there could be decanting stations. This is also a feature typically in large cities where there are nodes in the sewer network where the trucks can connect and dispose. So they don't have to travel all the way to singly owned households, typically G+1, G+2 kind of properties, which require desludging, but not that frequently. So their existing septic tank capacities typically allow them to carry out desludging maybe once in 3 years kind of a time frame. So there is no emergency as such when it concerns the individual houses and their septic tanks. What may also happen is the city may have large complexes, say large townships, where you may have hundreds of flats in a particular gated community, and the waste of all those flats at the society level is getting collected in a common septic tank. In addition to that, there could be large hotels community and public toilets, which typically fall under the category of bulk generators. Now, for the bulk generators, there are occasions in which they may require desludging on an emergency basis. In those cases, so basically these two would be the typical cases, scheduled operations and the emergency operations, which need to be in a way, if I'm looking for a tech-enabled solution, I would like to digitize these two operations. The next operation, which is the disposal operation, is where the truck has already collected the waste and is going to dispose at a treatment plant. And we need to ensure that it disposes at the right location. So if you recall what I mentioned earlier, that one of the common problems is that in many cities, the trucks have been disposing either in nalas or water bodies or nearby agriculture areas. They must actually dispose in a treatment facility where it is where the waste is properly treated, and therefore the entire value chain of sludge management is achieved. So when we talk about a solution on working on this, we've worked on several such deployments in many locations across the country, and I'll pick one case study for demonstration in this particular webinar. The idea here is that when we are looking at a platform to solve the FSM problem, the fecal sludge management problem, we are looking to digitize multiple workflows. These workflows are, again, I'll go back at both the desludging side of things and also at the disposal side of things. So when I look at a solution, I must look at how best I can digitize a scheduled desludging, an emergency desludging, and also a disposal desludging, and how best I can use location intelligence to solve the problem of effective tracking of waste collection and waste disposal. So our journey so far, I'll just cover that in brief, has been started with an implementation in Maharashtra, where we partnered with CEPT University on deploying a scheduling and disposal system. We are then working with IIHS in Tamil Nadu, where we are deploying a multi-tenanted based fecal sludge management system, and I'll come to this concept in a bit. And then a statewide fecal sludge management, which has begun for the state of Telangana now. So what do we do, or what are our objectives when it comes to smart fecal sludge management solution? And what am I trying to achieve by building such a solution? So the key objective of the solution is, as I mentioned, the digitization of the complete value chain. And second, analytics on the user behavior patterns, analytics on how the system has been performing, and also on key performance matrix of the entire system. And there are various ways and various stages in which you can actually work on that. A smart FSM solution would typically involve spatial mapping of all the properties, a database of all the properties with private septic tanks. And this is typically achieved through a mapping exercise or a data collection exercise. There has been a huge amount of data that has already been collected by many of the cities as a part of their ongoing citizen service delivery improvements, and also as a part of several mission mode projects like Amrut Smart Cities and Swachh Bharat Mission, etc. So these spatial data sets of properties can always be leveraged and used as the starting point to create a system which can automatically plan the scheduled desludging activities. In addition to that, the truck operators and the truck the emptying mechanism also varies from place to place. So the system, the smart FSM system, should ideally enable digitization of existing practices. And what are these existing practices? The first practice could be that the municipality could own the trucks themselves. So they would essentially have their own trucks service the citizen on the basis of an emergency request or a desludging request. So you would need to monitor where those municipal trucks are going, how much sludge have they been collecting on a daily basis, and where they are disposing, etc. The second mechanism could be a free market kind of a mechanism, wherein any private contractor can deploy their own trucks to carry out desludging operation. They may collect the charges from the citizens directly. This is also a fairly common model adopted in our cities. Typically, the control that the city or ULB brings in is that they may want to empanel the contractors who want to carry out these desludging activities, and B, they may also want to monitor their activities as well. And this is particularly from the point of view of effective disposal, because like I mentioned earlier, disposing in non-designated areas is a fairly common problem across the country. Other features that the smart FSM solution should ideally tackle is to transform the process to an entirely paperless solution, where the desludging requests, the schedules, etc., could be directly digitally created and transmitted to the tank, the truck operators, basically. And of course, using geospatial or location intelligence to ensure that the disposal happens at the right place. Many cities are also thinking to improve the FSM solutions by taking regular citizen feedbacks and an acknowledgement on the desludging activity. So that could also be carried out much alike the way we get e-commerce deliveries these days. So once you receive a package, you typically would acknowledge using an OTP, etc. Or you would, also could, provide your signature on the mobile app. So all these practices essentially ensure that the acknowledgement from the citizen has happened, that indeed, desludging activity has been carried out at the citizen level, and thereon the database of all such requests and activities is created on its own. Now imagine, I'll go back to the example of households. And I mentioned to you earlier that a typical household may require next desludging only after, say, 3 years. So once I create a mechanism, a smart solution where I am capturing today's desludging operation, in 3 years of time, it should automatically recommend or show me on the map that these properties may require the next round of desludging. And these properties on a map should then be made available to the truck operators in the form of a schedule, that these are the 10 properties that you need to cover today. And these 10 properties require the desludging in say a week's time frame. Post that, there is a chance of the septic tank getting overflow. So, the level of smartness that you achieve begins with the level of digital transformation in the entire process. You begin with digitizing the existing workflow, and then you start building analytics to bring in, smartness step by step. And of course, there could be monitoring dashboards, etc., which typically would help the ULB or the administrator to see how the entire operation is going in the city and where there could be problem areas. Another layer of intelligence that you could typically think about and add is integrating IoT devices. And what are these IoT devices? I would categorize them into two parts. The first part is you have a treatment plant where you are treating the collected sludge. You would want to monitor the effectiveness of that particular treatment plant. You would want to see how that plant is actually behaving, whether the treatment process is effective or not, whether the desired objectives are being met or not. So IoT devices, particularly which measure the water quality parameters like BOD, fecal coliform, etc., pH, all of these parameters are now readily available in the market. And there are various vendors which typically like who supply these IoT devices. And using an API integration, you could actually fetch in near real time the exact parameters of the treated waste. And you could bring that activity or bring those parameters back to your monitoring dashboard so that you can visualize how effective your water quality or water treatment mechanism is. So that is the first application of IoT devices. The second application is from the vehicle tracking domain. So a city at its will may create a mandate to set up GPS based vehicle tracking system for all the truck operators, whether they are municipal owned or privately owned. And these vehicle tracking systems could send streams of location for all the trucks flying in the city. You would achieve two things. One, you would ensure that the truck actually goes to the right location from where the desludging request has happened. And second, you would also ensure that the truck is actually disposing at the right location. So if you add this layer of intelligence, your system becomes even more robust. When I talk about the first part of the problem, which is basically a mobile app or digitization of the existing processes, I would split that into two parts. The first part would be a mobile app, which would be used by the truck operators, the truck drivers, who would get the schedule on their mobile screen in the localized language. They would get the basic details on the property location, the citizen's request, contact details, and the septic tank details, etc. So remember that typically you would want to start with the geospatial database of all the properties in a city. So that would be your starting point. And using that information, you collect the details or you pick up the details of the septic tank, etc. And then you basically carry out your or send out these details to your truck operators. Citizens could also be notified. You could integrate this with your ULB citizen facing app, in which they could be notified out of the desludging operation. If there is some additional information that you want the truck operator to fill, that should also be configurable. You could actually have additional custom form widgets that you could add on to the mobile app. And then obviously the mobile app data could also fetch the maps that could be rendered on the mobile app screen for the truck operators to navigate easily in the city. The second solution which is the web-based system, would perform multiple tasks. The first task would be manual scheduling of the requests and automated scheduling, the one that I mentioned to you earlier. So you learn from the data, you learn from the desludging patterns of all the types of properties, residential and commercial, and then you have a recommended schedule created for all the next cycles of desludging, thereby ensuring that in an automated manner, all the properties are queued up for scheduled desludging there. In addition to that, vehicle tracking based systems, IoT sense dashboards, etc., would be quite useful from a web monitoring perspective. At the FSTP level, some ULBs may also want to digitize the bookkeeping or record keeping activities. So remember, I told you that small towns which have FSTPs typically carry out or can handle the load of around 6 to 7 truckloads every day. So typically the FSTP operator needs to keep a track or record of all the trucks which have actually used the treatment facility for disposal. So in that particular scenario, we would want to keep a record or keep a tab of all these activities happening, and we could also look at a mobile app at the uh, FSTP operator level to record all these activities. And mind you, these FSTPs could be at remote locations. So the mobile app may require you to provide offline storage capabilities because the connectivity may not be that great in those areas. The technology that we typically use here is a proprietary location intelligence based platform, which does multiple activities. The first activity is, rendering the base maps or property maps, not only at the web level, but also at the mobile level. Secondly, integrate with a DIY or a do it kind of a form module, very much similar to, say, a Google form, but more agile in terms of collecting location with it, and also in terms of disseminating the form to the field users. So once that is achieved, you can actually configure the data collection activity along with the desludging activity, or you could separately carry out a baseline survey before implementation of the smart FSM solution to map out the properties and the septic tanks. So from a scheduling perspective, the web portal allows the city hierarchy to be captured. You have zones, wards, and then households. So all of these hierarchies are typically captured. You could also segregate zones for different truck operators. So typically, if it's a large city, truck operators or the municipal trucks might be active in specific zones of the city. So you could allocate them from a scheduling perspective. And schedule desludging and the emergency desludging workflows also need to be considered when you are working on the scheduling module. Route optimization, specifically in the case where the trucks are already using, say, a vehicle tracking system, is also very important perspective from a scheduling angle. And also, like I mentioned earlier, there could be payments linked to desludging activities. These payments would typically be from citizens to the truck operators. So you would want to, say, capture the payment and track those payments as well. The disposal activities typically involve two processes: the desludging that needs to be captured at the household level, where the volume of sludge collected is recorded, photograph if the property owner is comfortable, the photograph of the property or the desludging activity could also be taken. And without inputting a lot of text or a number-based input, you can use AI on the edge mobile app to actually collect information right from the customers or citizens at the desludging level. And then, of course, you go back to the FSTP, and either the FSTP operator keeps a record, or you get an acknowledgement as a truck operator from the FSTP operator as well. Now, earlier I mentioned to you about a multi-tenant kind of a module. Now, a city typically may have an FSTP for its own geography or its own administrative area. But there could also be a possibility in which a city may or a city's infrastructure may be used by surrounding urban local bodies also for desludging. So in that particular case, the city which has an FSTP is called a host ULB, and the ones which are around it are cluster ULBs. The cluster ULBs and their truck operators are typically dependent on the host ULB's FSTP for disposing the waste. And hence, when we design the solution, we design in such a way that from a digital transformation standpoint, the solution is not limited to one city. If I need to scale it to multiple cities, I can scale in same way by creating copies of the interfaces or by ensuring that if today city 1 in a state adopts the solution, city 2 should also be able to latch on to the same IT infrastructure and create their own environment on the same IT infrastructure and start using it. So this architecture is essentially called a multi-tenanted architecture, and that's how we intend to achieve scale. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, there are only a very handful of cities which have good sewer connected connection systems in place. Most of the cities are still dependent on FSM practices, and hence it becomes very important that whichever solution you build is fast, replicable, and quickly scalable. And hence, right from the beginning, you need to keep in mind that multi-tenanted architecture would be crucial for this requirement. So I'll briefly run you through the example of the system that we had deployed. We assisted CEPT University for deploying this in the state of Maharashtra. And this is for a town called Sinnar in Nasik district. So using the images, you can actually see the complete process chain itself. There is an FSTP plant, which you can see in this image, which is a small treatment facility suited for this small town. And then the typical municipal or a truck which carries out the desludging activity. This is the disposal happening. The dashboard, which essentially is used for the city, typically gives you a snapshot of all the properties for which the desludging has been carried out, where the properties are scheduled, and how and when are you going to basically schedule them. The dashboard also gives you an indication that this particular property was scheduled automatically, but the time has elapsed and the desludging has not been carried out. So you can actually see that alert on the map itself, and you can actually take an emergency action right away. So the map dashboard actually creates this intelligent interface in which the users can take immediate decisions on solving these problems. Dashboards are at the city level would also be helpful in understanding the level of penetration of desludging and disposal activities. How many of them are scheduled? How many of them were emergency? So you could actually use this data which the system is generating as learning data set and improve the solutions thereupon. So if you are seeing more of scheduled activities, then you may want to focus more on the scheduled desludging operations and improving that. But if you are seeing more of emergency desludging, then you may have to calibrate your approach and identify what are the nature of properties which are opting for emergency desludging. Are these some of the areas where we had not focused in the previous cycle? So do I need to sort of focus more on carrying out one level of desludging in that particular area or those kind of properties first, so that my emergency calls reduce and my scheduled calls increase? So that way I can actually improve my operational efficiency. That way I can optimize the routes of my trucks. So even my truck operators are going to be happy as far as their fuel consumption, etc. is concerned. So from the management perspective, like I mentioned earlier, we start with taking the feed of the existing property tax data. We upload all of that to begin with. And in case a new property is constructed, either through an API integration with their existing property tax system or through an interface in which they can actually add a new property, do that as well. And drug empanelment is also one of the processes involved here. Specifically, if the trucks are operated by private operators, you would want them to, empanel those trucks here through the system. In some ULBs, you may also want to consider the workflow of a nominal fee that gets collected for that empanelment process. And of course, a list of all the properties where the scheduling dates and the emptying dates or desludging dates are being captured. Several types of reports could be also produced or generated through the system. And these reports using data analytics would essentially be useful for improving the further processes and improving the efficiency of the current process. So desludging behaviors of the properties, behavioral patterns of the citizens, in which you see that, like I mentioned earlier, the emergency emptying is more prominent. So this means maybe at the citizen level, you may need awareness campaigns, aware that desludging is an important activity and you need to carry out, say, once in 3 years. You also could gradually collect information on toilet typology. So when the desludging operator is actually going there at the household and collecting information on desludging activity, they may also collect additional information on households with septic tanks where there are different types of toilets, etc. And also the condition of the existing tanks, so that in terms of mapping where the potential environmental issues could happen. So remember, the septic tank is not properly constructed. It has, the leachate is actually affecting the groundwater. There are instances in which people use that groundwater directly for drinking and they may fall ill because of that. Or there could be a contamination to a piped water supply, specifically if the water pipeline is old and may, have infiltration from the leachate coming in from the septic tanks. So all of these public health related inputs could readily be captured using this end-to-end digital system. Of course, when the ODF program was underway, it was also one of the major concerns that does the toilet construction process also creates a behavioral change, specifically in the people who were earlier practicing open defecation. So it becomes also important to analyze the desludging activities in the cities and see which pockets have neither requested an emergency desludging nor there has been any scheduling happened for a long, long time after the Swachh Bharat Mission toilet construction. So that you can, deduce from the data set that yes, these are the potential areas where the behavioral change has not happened, and hence, therefore, a level of awareness might be needed there as well. So, using these MIS reports, dashboards, many of the stakeholders in the cities can actually take decisions easily. In addition to that, the mobile app system that I mentioned to you about and the scheduled properties uh, is is an interface for the truck operator to see the list of properties which have either scheduled desludging or if there is any emergency case. So the truck operator would actually get a list of all such properties they would get a list of emergency requests so that they can actually take care of those emergency requests on priority. And this becomes very easy for the truck operator to take decision right in the field that how I would prioritize my desludging tasks here. In addition to that, the acknowledgement from the citizen also is could be a key input from the performance assessment point of view of the operators. So when we take a signature of the property owner after the desludging operation, we can take feedback on how the satisfaction was, whether proper safety practices were followed by the truck operators or not, and how has been the overall experience of desludging. So this data set also gets back to the feedback mechanism in improving the citizen service delivery. And like I mentioned earlier, the map interface either could use the existing Google Map navigation system, which typically the car hailing apps also use. So similar technology can be used to power the night soil tankers and the truck operators to move around properly in the city. Community toilets, public toilets, and bulk generators again are on priority. So they would be able to share the data set of all these locations of large bulk generators. And these bulk generators could typically use that info. The truck operators could use the information of bulk generators to prioritize the desludging operations. So using the mobile app mechanism, the life of a truck operator typically becomes very easy when it comes to reaching the right property on time, collecting the sludge from the right location, and also keeping a tab or collecting the location and timestamp of the desludging activities. We could also integrate the payment mechanism, localize, so create local language apps, vernacular language, etc. And of course, every activity is geotagged, geostamped, and timestamped. So a ground truthing of all these activities automatically happens at the back end without manual intervention from the truck operator. So this essentially, in a nutshell, is the fecal sludge management solution. This is a problem that has been traditionally ignored a lot. There are only a handful of stakeholders working across the country in this very, very specific domain of water and sanitation. But this is a grave problem. The problem's magnitude is huge, and it needs technology-enabled solutions to solve at scale. Thank you very much.